No, but apparently this is just straight rubber.
Do you see? Oh, sliding. Imagine working 40 hours a week but still struggling to pay for your basic necessities like rent, food, and healthcare. For millions of Americans, this is obviously the reality of earning the federal minimum wage. I am here to argue that the U.S. Congress should raise the federal minimum wage up to $15 an hour and reduce poverty, boost the economy, and obviously ensure the compensation for all of these workers. As a researcher focused on labor economics, I have analyzed the impacts of wage policies and how they affect workers and the entire community itself. This issue does impact all of us, whether we are the minimum wage earners or the taxpayers, obviously because it influences the economy, local businesses, and obviously the well-being of each community. Today I will discuss 3 key reasons why raising the federal minimum wage is necessary. Reducing poverty, boosting the economy, and ensuring the fairness of the compensation. So the first reason is raising the minimum wage will reduce poverty. Raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour will lift millions of people out of poverty. A 2022 study from the Economic Policy Institute found that raising the federal minimum wage to $15 by 2025 would lift 1.3 million people out of poverty and benefit 32 million workers. So obviously by increasing the minimum wage, individuals who are currently living below the poverty line will have a better chance to afford basic needs like housing, healthcare, education, obviously thus reducing overall poverty rates. So now we're going to go on to reason number 2. Raising the minimum wage will stimulate the economy, boost that aspect, and a higher minimum wage can stimulate the economic growth by increasing consumer spending. According to a 2021 report from the Congressional Budget Office, raising the minimum wage to $15 would increase consumer spending by about $22 billion annually, which will help drive economic activity. Obviously, when workers earn more, they have a more, you could say, disposable income to spend on goods and services, whatever they need, which in turn boosts the economy overall. So now we're going to go into reason number 3. Raising the minimum wage will ensure fair compensation for all the workers that are around. The current federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour is not really sufficient to meet the cost of living in most areas of the U.S. So the MIT living wage calculator shows that a living wage for a single adult in the U.S. is approximately $16.54 per hour in many parts of the country, far above the current federal minimum wage. So it's really just unjust to expect the full-time workers to survive on wages that are below the cost of living. Raising the minimum wage really does ensure that workers are paid fairly or for their labor, and helping to close the income inequality gap and improving social stability. So now we are going to conclude here. Obviously, to summarize, raising the minimum wage to $15 would reduce poverty, stimulate the economy, and provide fair compensation for all workers. By taking action to raise this federal minimum wage, Congress can create a stronger, more equitable economy where all workers are paid a fair wage for the hard work that they are doing. Just as we began imagining the struggles of living on minimum wage, we can move forward by making a future where no worker has to live in poverty, and obviously everyone can have the opportunity to thrive. So now we're going to the questions here, guys. What questions do you all have? Yes, sir.
How might raising the minimum wage help workers?
Obviously, raising the minimum wage, people will have the opportunity to live a better life with all the money they will earn more, so they can buy their groceries, and obviously just overall they'll be in a better mood. Just living their lives will be just a lot easier. So, yes, sir.
How might workers' quality of life change with a higher minimum wage?
Yes, obviously, as I just said, everyone's life will just have a way better quality, just living with a lot more money around. So everyone will have more of a fair type of advantage in the economy. So people will have a much better time with their jobs and not feel like they have to. They are underpaid for their work. So that is obviously a better part of their life.
So do you think raising the minimum wage will improve the economy?
Obviously having people to, sorry, state that one more time for me.
Do you think raising the minimum wage will improve the economy overall?
Oh yes, obviously the economy will grow. More people will get paid more and want to work up to their pace of hard work, and that will obviously improve the economy, and that'll do it for them. So that is it.